So, John, how easy is it actually to set up the system to work with this?
Right, well, I've just quickly prepared a question here using PowerPoint, which you can now see on the screen. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to present that question to my audience now and get responses back. So I'm going to go to the Present key here, and that gives me an interface here where I'll make choices. So I'm actually going to record the assessment, I'm going to record the feedback.
So that means everything will be stored?
Yeah, everything will then be stored in the database, all the data that I'm going to get via the handsets. I'm only going to give you one chance to answer, so it's single response, but I'm going to give you feedback on your handset. And then I'm going to introduce a game element because that's quite motivating.
When you say student feedback, does that mean that they will actually get something that will come up on their screen?
Yeah, that's exactly it. So they get an instant feedback on the screen and they'll know straight away if they're right or wrong.
OK.
I can switch that on or off. It depends what I'm using the system for.
Right.
I've made a choice over here of which class I'm presenting this to. So I've got all my students here. And I could also put on a timer here if I wish to as well, so I could only present this slide for a certain amount of time.
So you could actually do something a bit like under a test condition.
Exactly. So you could do a mock mental maths paper, for instance, where each question you're giving a different time to, so they only have a certain amount of time to answer each question. And if I'm happy with all the settings that I've got there, then I just say present activity, and it says, are you sure that's the class that you're going to be presenting to? I say, yeah, continue. And you can see now what it does is it presents that question, which I've prepared in PowerPoint. You can see I've got a response bar across the bottom, and I've got a toolbar on the right-hand side. Now I can use the teacher's handset here as well if I wish to now control what's going on. I could use the toolbar on the screen if I was using an interactive whiteboard or just the mouse, but what I could do now is move away from the laptop and just control things from the teacher handset.
And do you find as a teacher, that's actually gives you a little bit more freedom to integrate with the class, that you don't always have to be sort of crowded over your laptop?
Yeah, exactly. So I can move away from here now and actually go and work with the children and help them if they need help and just control things from anywhere in the classroom. It gives me more flexibility in what I want to be able to do. Now at the moment, even if you press the button, nothing is going to be picked up. This is where the teacher handset comes in, because until I press the green button on the teacher handset, then now everything becomes active, and I can ask my students now to vote on which they think is the correct answer to the question. Is it answer 1, 2 or 3? Okay. So everybody now votes, and you should see some feedback on your handset to tell you whether you've got that question.
Oh, that's good. I did actually get it right.
Which
is good.
So you've got that instant feedback, but if I as a teacher now want to see for myself what feedback you've given me, I now press the graph button, and you see I now get a graph. I can see 4 people have voted there, and then I can scroll through and see that in different formats as well and see exactly who's voted.
So you can instantly pick up whether I got it right or wrong?
I can, yes. This is what we call formative assessment for the teacher, so I can gauge straight away who's got it right, who's got it wrong, whether I can continue with this or whether I need to go back and do some reinforcement
So actually
work.
you'd be able to sort of get a general feeling whether or not you're actually getting the right information across and interacting with your class.
Exactly,
And
yes.
if they weren't all getting it, you could go back and do it again.
Yeah.
So it's monitoring as you go.
Exactly, yeah. So I could really use this at any point in my lesson. I could just stop, put a few questions up. It gives me some information as a teacher as to whether I'm on the right lines or whether we need to go back and reinforce something.
And again, all this is then saved?
All this can be saved, yes. And as well as that, what I can also do now is I can press the play key from my teacher handset, and that takes me into the game. So now it's telling me who was the first person to respond. So I can see car number 12 is now going over the finish line first, so I know handset number 12 was the first person to respond to that question.
And again, you're sort of giving that interactive element and a little bit of healthy competition.
Exactly. It's very motivating, and children love that kind of thing. It's very, very, very good.